Hey everyone, and welcome to my next video, and today I'll be playing Princess Evangile. And by God, this is going to be a damn long game. So I thought for this series, since this is going to be long, we're going to do half-hour episodes. And, well, I don't have much to say about it. Let's just have a look at the things quick. Okay, let's have a high quality on scaling. Yeah, cancel. Yeah, this looks okay. Oh, sound settings. It would turn it down a little bit. Yeah, that's about right. Yep. And there we go. Let's go back. So S is to save. Okay, let's go. Ikimashou, guys. Chapter 0. Cold weather. Okay. That's new. Ow. Sorry, I damaged the table. Whew. I breathed into my hands. It was cold. Damn, it's cold out here. The sun had set, and it was so cold I had a hard time believing that school was starting soon. Of course, the state of my wallet was probably affecting my perception of the weather, as was my lack of a place to go. This time I sighed. The full moon hung heavily over me. My name is Okanoki Masaya, and the cold I felt ran deep. ... My story started the day before. I'm tired. As usual, I returned to my apartment after work. Even though I was home, there was nothing fun to do there but stare at my father's face. I was back in my hometown for the first time in a year. I thought about rounding up my friends for karaoke, but I don't think I could see them now. Besides, I was broke. The apartment we were in now didn't require a finder's fee or security deposit, but we had to pay the first 3 months' rent in advance. Whew, that's rough. That had wiped out what little savings I had. But running away with nothing but the clothes on our backs definitely saved a lot on moving expenses. Okay, it's an hour, so who was with me? However, no matter how much you save, it costs money to start a new life. I had always been poor, but now I was on the verge of being penniless. I've only just started my job and I don't get paid until the 20th of next month. Jesus, what was I going to do until then? My anxious thoughts swirled around in my head, but I forced myself to stop. It was pointless to focus on the negative. Fine, I'll just go to sleep. Possibly due to my numerous part-time jobs, I hadn't had any time to sleep lately. Even though one of my redeeming features had always been taking care of myself enough not to get sick. Oh! I mounted the old rusted stairs that felt like they would give way with every step. My old man and I were holed up in the room on the second floor. Oh, he's living with his old man. I'm home. I guess he's not here. Those mob guys must have been back. Dad spent most of his time lazing around the house or fleeing from loan sharks. Of course, I told him to get a job a number of times. When I did, he'd give me this strange little smile and say,
ごめんね、マサヤ君。父さん、箸より重たいものを持ったことがないんだ。
Wow, voices. He was really hopeless. I turned on the light. There was a scrap of paper and an envelope on the table. I checked the paper first. It was my old man's handwriting, written on a dollar store memo paper.
生活に疲れました。父さんは旅に出ます。
What a dick! He's left me alone with the loan sharks, has he? Of course. I let out a sigh, then threw the note in the trash can. I put my hand to my chest. Compared to the sadness I experienced when my mother left, all I could feel now was relief. Well, I guess I don't like my old man. I glanced around the room and noticed what few belongings my dad had were now gone. my old man really had left me. In any case, he had never contributed to our living expenses. Him being gone wasn't an issue. The fact it might make things easier. What's this envelope? A farewell gift, huh? But I don't think he's got any money. And if he did, he wouldn't give it to me. There were 2 sheets of paper inside the envelope. As I expected, it wasn't a farewell gift at all. There was something written on them. I wonder why he kept this separate from the memo though.
ところで、父さんたちが抱えていた借金ですが。
Yes, Tarzan? We owe? I'm sure those debts are all yours.
この機会に、マサヤ君に一本化しておきました。
He's a dick! Are you serious? He's transferred all the things that he owes from the loan sharks to me. Jesus Christ, what a dick! Huh?
同封した紙は例の極悪組への証文です。
What? With the goons? Oh, you kidding me?
マサヤ君が寝ている間に母印を押しておきました。てへ。
What? Are you freaking serious?
マサヤ君、よく寝ていたな。
My dad's a dick in this.
バイトの疲れが溜まっているんでしょうね。
Dazen!
What?
My dad has made me in debt to the freaking loan sharks that he's owed money to the whole time, and even took my thumbprint as full proof that I owe it to them when I was asleep. And now he's gone on holiday.
Sounds like him.
Yeah, but real one probably. Oh god.
バイトなんかはそこそこにして
You're not
体には気をつけるんだぞ。
I'm busy.
お前の父さんより。
I can't believe he's done this to me. Next thing you know, I've crumpled paper in my hand. I look down at my thumb. So that's where the rest ended up. That old bastard. My thoughts exactly. 1 year ago, we left the town I had lived in all my life. Surugigaoka. I hope I said that right. Our family life had been falling apart for as long as I can remember. All because my father was a deadbeat. My mother had given up on him long ago, but didn't want to leave him until I'd reached a certain point in my life. Then, on the evening of my 10th birthday, she brought me to a park and said, "Oh, flashback."
母さんね、お前が10歳になるまでは待とうと思っていたの。
Okay. For what?
離婚を。離婚の意味はわかるわね。
Oh, no. Yes.
10歳になれば、ある程度の分別も身につくわ。母さん、マサヤには父さんと別れることも仕方のないことだと分かってほしかったの。
Jesus, Messiah's had it rough.
こんなのは親の勝手な言い草に過ぎないんでしょうけれど。
I shook my head. Even as a child, hold on, I'm reading. I understood that my parents couldn't stay together anymore.
そう。ありがとう。マサヤは優しいわね。
McDonald's opened up a whole restaurant based on chicken.
I've seen that one. I've seen that. In the cold light of the street lamps, it seemed she was smiling for the first time.
じゃあマサヤ、友達とお別れする時間もなくて申し訳ないけれど、早速家を出るわよ。
Dang. Gino, don't you dare play that. Right now?
ええ。父さんと話し合いなんかしたら、きっと引き止められるに決まっている。そして、あの人のペースに巻き込まれてしまう。口のうまさに関しては天才的なんだから。母さんね、もう話し合いもしたくないの。
After what he's just done to me now, I don't blame her.
離婚届に判をついて置いておくわ。行き先ももちろん知らせない。
Alright, see you. And there goes phasing.
マサヤが大人になった時は、たまには顔を合わせるのもいいでしょう。けれど、当面はこれっきり。
Okay.
さあ、行きましょう。荷物は少しずつまとめてあったの。あの人が帰らないうちに出ていくわよ。
Sorry about that earlier, guys. I was speaking to my brother Phasing there. I'm not going.
え？
My mother's eyes opened wide as she looked at me. To her, it was as if her son had started speaking an alien language. In my childish way, I explained to her that I felt like I couldn't just abandon my father. Mum would be fine on her own, but Dad wouldn't. That was the conclusion I had reached, which is why I couldn't go along with my mother. Mother was upset, and in the end decided to cancel that day's flight. She spent some time trying to convince me, but in the end, she was the one who gave up.
わかったわ。
She left the house alone, promising to stay in contact with me. I could still clearly see the image of my mother walking off into the rainy night. Was it going to show me it? No? I guess not. In the end, my mum was right. I looked down at the crumpled paper in my hand. Now that I knew how the world worked, I realised Dad would have turned out this way whether I had been here or not. What am I going to do about this? My thumbprint was on the loan. The interest rate was 30% every 10 days. 30%? A paper like this had no legal merit, but I doubted that logic was going to appease those two. My father's one redeeming feature was what my mother once called his genius way of thinking around people. He managed to hold off even the most fearsome of loan sharks with the most laid-back manner possible. Until last year, he had somehow managed to keep up, but then the debts got too big, and my old man broke under the pressure. And that's when we ran away. Damn, I should have just stayed in GROPING. Back then, a part of me still felt sorry for him. I had also just graduated from my old school. That sense of finality might have had some influence on my actions. I graduated, then fled some unfamiliar land and enrolled in school there. I'd started to think that the loan sharks had given up and we had made a clean break, when suddenly the local mafia came calling. How badly in debt did you get? I screamed at him, but my father just gave me that little smile and shook his head.
どうやら債権が渡ったようなんだよ。
My father's skill as a hustler had just made the situation even worse. Unable to get around his skilled way with words, the creditors had sold his loan to the mafia. And the force they used to collect our debt was on a completely different scale. My dad wheeled and dealed, but in the end he only bought us a year. And now we had once again returned to GROPING.
やっぱり生まれ故郷が一番だもんね。
I can't believe his father. I was mad about the short notice as usual, but I couldn't say I wasn't glad to be going back home. I just finished my first year at school, so it was going to be a good time to transfer. The problem was that since he never earned any money, the loan wasn't just going to disappear. This time, I didn't even have a chance to catch my breath. A new creditor would come calling soon. That was the Goonies. Their efforts to collect were much more violent. I had known we couldn't keep this life much longer, but still, I never thought it would end like this. I was finally ready to abandon my old man in my heart. He was no longer my father. From now on, I would just call him the bastard. Hey! But even so, what was I going to do? In the past, if a loan shark or mob guy approached me, I could point them at the bastard and that would be that. On the few occasions they'd gone after me, I could admit that the bastard had still helped me out. But now that he was gone, I had to deal with it on my own this time. Me? An average student? Unlike him, I knew I couldn't talk my way out of it like he could. What do I do? Oh, I sank down onto the worn-out tatami mat. I had to run away. But where? I'd already spent all of my money on rent. ... I felt like all of my strength was leaving my body. Whoa! Just then there was a rapid knocking on the door. I felt my linked body tense up instantly. Oh no! I thought I could pretend I wasn't home, but the door was so thin they can easily break it down. Jesus, come on, get out, get out! Each kick caused the door to rattle. It really did look like it was about to break inward. I quickly moved to the back of the room, opened the closet door and squeezed inside. Closing the door didn't block out much sound, but it cut off most of the light and left me in the dark. I could have made this out by hiding in the closet. I stood up, leaned forward, and located the ceiling board above me. I lifted it up and set it aside. Restraining the urge to cough from the dust, I pulled myself up above the ceiling. I heard the sound of the door breaking down just as I got the board back into place. Oh, lucky.
Huh?
There was a crawl space in the ceiling, and despite it being a tight fit, I managed to make it through. From there, I made it outside, climbed down the rain gutter and ran off at full speed.
親父、どうもイルスじゃなかったみたいですね。
Why is the window this colour? These purple windows indicate events taking place from the point of view people. Oh, okay, okay. That's cool. So this is what I can't hear.
押し入れにもいねえや。ち、あのガキ、金もねえくせにどっかで遊んでいやがるのか？
おう、見ろ、清。
え？
あの野郎の書き置きが残ってる。
書き置き？
あの野郎ももうおしめえだな。借金の方にてめえのガキを売る。あいつが売ったのはガキだけじゃねえ。てめえの魂まで売っちまったんだ。
そうっすね。
Oh man. Now this really escalated. Dang. That was yesterday. I had slept almost a full day just wandering around the city. I skipped work today just in case. I didn't want to make trouble for them. Calling in absent right after I start. This continued, I'll be fired after 3 days. If I didn't get my first month's pay, all the work I'd done would have been for nothing. I was starting to miss that run-down apartment. At least it had a ceiling and a floor. I didn't want to sleep on the street. I was tired to begin with and napped on the park bench for a while. But now I was just exhausted. I'll end up dying in the streets at this rate. The fact I wasn't joking showed just how grave my situation was. I checked the contents of my wallet. Again. 100 yen coins. 1. 10 yen coins. 6. I had 160 yen. Jeez, that was all. I had no paper bills. Nothing of use. I thought about running out to an automatic loan machine, but I knew better than anyone that once you started borrowing money, you'd never stop. And I wasn't sure if they'd lend money to a student anyway. That's right. What will I do about school? How was I supposed to get any learning done? Sorry about that, it was a bit on the screen, but learning done in a situation like this. Due to my unique situation, the school agreed to defer my tuition payment, but there was no way I could pay it with the goons after me. ... The more I thought about it, the more I realised how badly I was trapped. I hung my head in the middle of the street. Somewhere inside me, I knew that there was no way out. Although the hunger, cold and exhaustion made it hard to get my thoughts together. People passed by, shooting me concealed glances, but I looked straight ahead and watched them walk by with lonely thoughts in my heart. Those people all had homes to return to, warm houses with families waiting. I didn't have anything. The realization that I was all alone in the world suddenly pierced my mind like an arrow. It wasn't like I wanted to live with that freeloading father of mine. But even so, am I falling asleep? The sudden realization caused my vision to blur. No. Damn. I rubbed my eyes hard. I wasn't alone. My mother was still out there. My mother had kept in contact with me all this time, but I never tried to see her. She had started a new life in a new place. Perhaps now is the only time to impose on family. I heard the sound of footsteps passing by, some moving ahead and some moving behind me. Until yesterday, I had always had some place to go, some place to come to. It was all that bastard's fault. Damn, if I ever saw him again, I was going to hit him. Oh man, I'm hungry. It occurred to me that I hadn't eaten anything since dinner the night before. One anpan and a can of milk. Jeez. I should eat something. If I ate something, it might put me in a more positive mood. Though I wasn't sure what I could do to satisfy my stomach with 160 yen. I saw the lights of a convenience store on the corner up ahead and walked toward it. Just then, a figure appeared near my feet. Oh, Nico! Nico, gotchi! A scrawny cat with matted furs stared up at me. Normally, I wouldn't give a thought to a stray cat, but... What's wrong? You're all alone too, huh? I was so lonely, I found myself talking to it. Man, this is sad. Oh, that's adorable. Stay with me forever, kitty cat. The stray kept its distance, but it looked up at me with a surprisingly affectionate meow. Yeah, I'm hungry too. Dot, 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 dot. I got a fish sausage, which seemed like the most filling option for my money. I thought the cat would have run off and I'd eaten on my own, but when I came back it was sitting right where I left it. I guess I don't have much of a choice. When I removed the packaging, the cat smelled it and walked right up to me. Oh, that's adorable. Oh. I broke it in half, stuffed one piece in my mouth and offered the other to the cat. The cat quickly devoured it, then devoured it! Then looked up hungrily at my mouth. Sorry, it's all gone. Huh? When a gust of wind set the newspaper flying, I suddenly remembered the lottery ticket I bought earlier. More precisely, that lottery ticket that the bastard had made me buy. I didn't want to waste our money, but he was so adamant on getting rich quick, he ended up forcing it on me. Now, where did I put it? Did I lose it somewhere? I searched around in my pants pockets and found a worn-out ticket. The announcement should be today, and the newspaper probably had those results. I picked it up and walked over to one of the street lamps. Just then, an unpleasant sight met my eyes. What's going on? Whoa! I was too far away to hear what they were saying, but it was clearly an argument of some kind. Okay. The people passing by seemed too afraid to get involved and just sped up as they passed. Ah, you got... No, help her! Come on, I'm gonna help her! Come on. Save the girl! What are you doing? The whole group turned my way. Just then, the girl escaped their grasp and ran toward me. Oh, Jesus, am I being attacked? Oh, okay. I turned boldly toward her blue-suited attackers and hit the girl behind my back. One of them advanced on me, acting as group representative. That is not a man! Really? That is... Look, it's not a man! Are you kidding me? Oh gosh. It's got an awfully high-pitched voice. Messiah, you moron! It doesn't matter who I am. What are you doing? No. Despite saying please, a glint in his eye and quietly imposed... Oh my god, I can't believe in myself now. Quietly imposing presence told me that these people could give the goons a run for their money. Just who are these people? Their stances left no openings. Who was this girl? Oh, who was this girl and why are these people after her? I glanced back. I thought it meant the third end. Oh gosh. I glanced back and found her glaring at the blue-suited figures from my shoulder, over my shoulder.
引かないのですか?
I suppose not. Eh?
引かないのですかと聞いている.
Right. I could have walked away now. Pushing the girl with my body, I gradually began to draw back. But the blue-suited figure didn't miss the gesture without a sound. He closed the distance and reached for me. It's a woman, mate. She's fast! He moved so smoothly. He clearly wasn't your standard ruffian. His hand slipped past me, reaching for the girl's arm instead. They didn't seem to want to use violence, but I reflexively struck out with my hand. Are you serious? Oh no! Are you kidding me? Oh no! It went with a surprise. I think you found out that's not a guy now, don't you? Oh wow! All that seriousness just to build up to that. Yeah, I'm a dead man. Huh? Suspicious woman. Yeah, it's a woman. You know now. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I didn't get out my apology. I didn't get out my apology before my opponent slipped into a stance.
Huh?
Oh gosh. This time, her fist was aimed directly at my face. Oh Jesus. I quickly dropped down. The punch just barely missed me, and I could feel it tearing through the air above my head. Oh God! It was a total coincidence that the punch missed me, but the woman seemed to be in shock. To the other three, who had previously been watching, began stalking towards us. They seemed to radiate anger from every pore. This is good. My presence seemed to have escalated the situation to a new level of hostility. Oh, sorry, I held up my hands apologetically, but it was clear that the situation was far beyond saving. One of the suits rushed forward. I tensed up, determined to protect the girl behind me. I barely had any strength from the start. I was prepared for what was coming, and yet the blue-suited figure had just about reached me when she suddenly tripped and lost her balance. Ah, go on, Kitty! Attack them! Go! Kitty power! It was the cat from before repaying my debt he owed me. Thanks to the cat, the suit went tumbling. Her friends quickly moved to help her out. I felt a tug on my right hand and turned back around. Yes, let's go. Quickly. Right. Our footsteps rang off into the night. Wait! We started running, zigzagging down the streets until the footsteps of our pursuers died down behind us. What the hell is that? I wonder if you guys had a bad. Something just fell out behind me. Maybe it's the hunger, but I quickly ran out of breath. The girl seemed to be having trouble breathing too, so I slowed down and turned to face her. There were so many things I wanted to ask her, but right now, both of us needed to catch our breath. My body was ready to move so much, my head is spinning. Normally it wouldn't be so bad. Jing was actually one of my best subjects. Oh, she done it. She took a deep breath and turned to face me. Oh, Jesus Christ. ... Eh? The moment I saw her straight on for the first time, it was like something snapped inside my brain. Whoa! Past vision? Eh? She seemed to mistake my surprise for something else. She released my hand, her face flustered. That's right, we've been holding hands all this time. I felt my face grow hot. This was the first time I'd ever held hands with a girl. Besides, she was really beautiful. never seen anyone so beautiful, not even on TV. She averted eyes as she blushed and withdrew a handkerchief from her pocket.
汗かいちゃった。
No comment. I couldn't take my eyes off her as she wiped the sweat from her brow. Even that was beautiful.
お使いになる？
She got in the wrong idea again. Regardless, I found my hand moving to take it. Are you sure?
何が？
Oh, well, I hadn't even taken a bath for the night. I tried to remain calm as I looked at the pleasant-smelling handkerchief and lightly wiped the sweat from my face.
それにしてもさっきは驚いたわ。あなた何かやっていらっしゃるの？
What do I want?
武道とかあの人の月を交わしたでしょ？
Oh, nothing in particular. I just got lucky.
そう。でもあの人たち専門の訓練を積んでいるし、きっと運動神経に優れていらっしゃるんでしょうね。
I guess. From the sound of it, she was very familiar with those people. I asked her about that point. She responded with a vague affirmation.
まあ、知っているといえば知っているわ。
Rather than pushing the matter any further, I fell silent and quickly offered the handkerchief back to her. Thank you. With the handkerchief returned, we had run out of things to talk about. What was with that strange feeling I had earlier? That strange sensation I felt when I got a clear look at her face for the first time. It was like a momentary ripple on the still water of my mind. It disappeared without a trace, but the feeling had definitely been real. Is it just because she was so beautiful? No way, Masaka. It bothered me, but it wasn't like asking her would do us any good. Come on, Adam, work your tongue properly. She'd probably think it was a pickup line. Well, I should be going. I started to turn away when a strange noise rumbled from the pit of my stomach. This damn fish didn't fill me up.
あら？
I could feel my ears burning in embarrassment. Don't laugh at my pain! Her laugh didn't seem malicious. I actually welcomed it. I felt revived and turned back with a wry smile on my lips. I'm on a bit of a diet right now.
ダイエット？男の人でもそういうことするのかしら？
Oh, well, I think they do. Fat people and such.
なるほど。肥満は男性女性関係ないわよね。でもあなたは。
She took a moment to inspect me from head to toe.
ダイエットなんかする必要はないと思うけれど。
Oh, thank you. But that's true.
それに、ほら、話している間にもお腹がギュウギュウなっているじゃないの。やりす。
Oh, no, go back. How do I go back? No. Oh. Right. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, she smiled suddenly as if she'd come up with a good idea.
私も夕飯はまだなの。よかったらご一緒しましょうよ。
Yes, get food.
あと、ちょっとお話ししたいこともあるし、いかがかしら？
Nope, not at all. She's trying to pick me up? That couldn't be it. She didn't seem the type to pick up random men. The reverse was surely coming.
さ、行きましょうよ。
Okay, guys. I think I'm actually gonna. Oh, I said it was missed the next bit, so I'm gonna end it there, alright? Girl began walking promptly. I spoke up self-consciously. The girl turned back, an anxious expression on her face.
ダメかしら？この後、何か用事でも？
No, that isn't that. I don't have any money.
何？
I'd spoken so softly she didn't hear me. I spoke again louder this time. I just don't have any money. I mean, I haven't got paid for my job yet.
ああ、そういうこと。
She gave me the same easy smile as before.
もちろん、私が出させていただくわ。さっきのお礼に。
Yay! Are you sure? Really?
ええ。
今のお話を伺う前から私はそのつもりでいてよ。だって私本当に感謝したんですもの。
cool.
あの辺り仕事帰りなのか結構人の通りは多かったわ。けれど通る人みんな知らんぷりばかり。
That's true.
それは揉め事に巻き込まれたくないって気持ちは私にも想像はつきます。けれど私は助けを求めていて、なのにみんな見えないふり聞こえないふりばっかりだった。それはやっぱり私にとっては残念なことで。けれどあなたは来てくれた。向こうは4人もいたというのにたった1人で。
But I can't believe my guy took the damn reach for it.
あなたが助けに入ってくれて私は本当に嬉しかったの。いくら感謝してもし足りないという気持ち、私はあなたの勇気を尊いものだと思います。
Yay! Oh. I've never seen such a straight, honest compliment. I felt a tightness in my chest and an inexplicable heat feeling in my cheeks. At the same time, her cheeks turned red and she slumped over a little. Maybe she was the bashful type too.
さあ行きましょう。こっちに来た時必ず行くお気に入りのお店があるの。そこに案内して差し上げるわ。
Sure. Okay, guys. Yeah. Oh, cool. It's even got little slidey bits.
私は老船員リセ。
Okay, guys. I'm gonna end it here for today. Wow, I thought this game was gonna be quite serious for a minute until that happened. But I'm gonna end it here. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you want me to keep playing this series, let me know in the comments. And if you want some more, and if you like this, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want more, subscribe to me. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. So, ciao, guys.